Hey listeners, welcome to another season of Cozy One Podcast. We have made it to season 8. This season, I want to shine the light on mama's health, aka women's health, and some of these illnesses that I will be discussing with special guests can also affect men, but I really want to focus on what illnesses women go through and deal with and have to make sure their bodies are in check, have to make sure their diet is in check, especially if they want to carry children or carrying children. And you know, the knowledge of knowing your family history, how important it is for your health and your life. And that's what I wanted to focus on in this season. I hope you guys enjoy all of the guests. We're going worldwide with these guests. I'm talking to women across the water, across the pond, as they call it. I'm talking to women from different walks of life, and I just want you guys to get the information, learn from the information, and take that with you and spread it to someone who, you know, needed more insight on what they're going through or what their symptoms are. I hope you guys enjoy Cozy One Podcast. Don't forget to hashtag Cozy One Podcast. You can find me on Twitter, IG, and Facebook.
Hey Cozy One fam, this is JC, the dopest mommy around and owner of He Hates My Tees, a novelty t-shirt company based out of Arlington, Texas. This is our first year grinding it out, and baby, it's been a beautiful journey. I'm a mommy of 2 spicy kids, Davy and Jameson, and an educator. And I started my company as a way to be self-sufficient and control my own narrative on my value after working several years in a corporate environment being, you know, undervalued. My latest collection is called The Dopest Around, saluting all dope ass folks. We just released the Dopest Mommy Around dad hats, and they are fire. You hear me? Fire. It's available in several colors. Follow us on IG at He Hates My Tees and visit our website, hehatesmytees.com. And that's tees, Tees. Use code COZY15 for 15% off your purchase. Love ya, be dope, stay dope, and I'll see you around.
This is Cozy One Podcast. I stole Sim to be my guest so we can talk about depression among Black women. Okay?
Yes.
And
I hope y'all got y'all tissues out, because people be crying when they start talking about depression.
both of us come from a family of depression, secret, drama. Why you said that?
You just gotta label it out to mental health issues.
This is crazy.
Mental health issues, yeah.
We both have a cousin that wears pajamas for a living.
Yes.
The only time we know the seasons change is because she changes her shoes. It goes from us to flip flop.
She doesn't leave the house.
Listen, depression is basically an overwhelming feeling, and a rut that you gotta be coached out of, worked out of, emotionally, mentally, and sometimes with medication. But we all hope that it doesn't get that far. So my personal experience with depression was with my second kid, not being able to have my emotions, her crazy daddy, and just not liking her for a whole year. And
yeah, she would cry.
Listen, we were not friends.
I remember them days, girl.
We were not friends. So I experienced postpartum, and it's basically a depression after you have a baby. And
that can last for years. It can last for more than 2. I think it can last for almost 2 years, right?
Shoot, I don't know, but I know I definitely had it for a year.
I've experienced that as well.
Yeah, it's like taking care of a complete stranger and them needing stuff from you, and you're legally obligated to do it.
Right.
So that was hard. So what was your first experience with depression?
Oh my God. You know, it's crazy. I had depression all my life. I think I was a kid. I was a child
Mm-hmm.
because I felt neglected by my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt alone when I was a kid because, of course, I was raised by everybody. So a part of my life I was with my aunt, of course, your mom, Aunt Jen. Part of my life I was with Aunt Joan, like Aunt Claudette. All I remember is just getting bounced about different places and not actually having the person that should be there, which is my mother. So my depression stemmed from there, from feeling more so abandoned and neglected. Like, why am I in all these people's houses? Where's my mom?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my depression started from when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first encounter with it. Of course, I didn't know what was going on. I just remember just being sad all the time.
Mm-hmm. And what was like the things that got you out of that mood or that feeling?
Playing with you, just playing with my cousins, being around you guys, like seeing my grandmother too when I was younger. That made me excited, and the family gatherings and kind of made me happy. But then when all that's over, I go back to that place, that
Mm-hmm.
sad place.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
One thing that I hate about today and I like about today is that people talk about it more, but then it's like people talk about it so much that people start to feel like it's this fake thing, it doesn't exist. When really you really struggle to do like normal things. You struggle to get up, you struggle to take care of yourself, you struggle to get out the house. You don't feel good about yourself, no matter what people tell you. You don't feel outgoing. And it could come at any time. You could have like all the money in the world. You can have all the things that you want,
Right.
and it don't mean shit.
It don't, because okay, so fast forward to when I got older, because I experienced it from I was a kid. I experienced it in my teenage years, and my adult years when I had my kids. So it's just followed me. But the crazy thing about depression is you could be happy. Like you could just one day you wake up, you're in a good spirit, you're happy, and all of a sudden you like you start crying and you're sad. You're like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, I was just okay. Like, it just hits you, and it sometimes you just don't know what the situation is. It would just hit you. You can be depressed and not even know you're depressed.
Yeah.
And I had days where I would be in the bed. I would not get out. I remember them days I couldn't get out of the bed. Like, I had it really, I still have it, but it's not as bad as before, but I had it bad. I couldn't get out the bed for days. I literally called out of work because I couldn't make it. I was like, I don't know, like I can't move. Like I just was stuck. I wasn't even like, it was just really bad. The kids were there. I know they saw that something was wrong with me, but they didn't really understand what was going on. But, you know, I was just barely moving. And it was...
Having kids and going through, like, depression is, like, it's not safe, because I remember having the girls in the car, driving them the opposite direction of work to have someone watch them, and driving past my house to go to work, leaving work to drive past my house to go pick them up, and just being in like this routine. And the whole time I'm driving them to and driving them from, I'm like crying in the front seat and glad I don't have like a passenger to see me. And like stuck in the days to where sometimes I would pass my exit. Sometimes I wouldn't have like any like recollection of like how fast I was going, how slow I was going, where I was going. Sometimes I would forget where I was going and have to like remind myself like, oh, you need to drop them off here, or you need to go pick up this. And it was crazy. And if you try to explain it to somebody, they're gonna think that like you smoke something, you drinking something, or
there are family. One thing I can say for our family is, they don't believe in any of that.
I don't know.
Mental health.
And then the fact that they Jamaican makes it worse.
It makes it worse because they're like, oh, she going crazy. Like, that's their thing. Oh no, something going on. She going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She going crazy. Oh, she not paying her kids no mind. She crazy. They never like really reach out to say, okay, let me see what's going on. Our family was never that type to like reach out to another and say, you know what? I know you're going through something. Let me maybe take the kids or help you out.
If they do reach out, it's so they can get the
it's so they
can
spread it.
Yes. It's never genuine. That's why I really don't talk to nobody down. I'm just like, y'all don't need to know nothing. Ain't nothing going on that need to be known. Like, I don't know what's going on in your house. You don't know what's going on in mine. Great.
Right. It's never to say, okay, gotta be something going on. Let me check on her. Something.
Mm-hmm.
It's never that. I think I've gotten more help from strangers than I did family.
Yeah.
And when I had to vent about it, it was more so to my friend, or I vent to you, or like it's just not something I would tell them because they look at me like, oh, this girl going crazy.
Or like I feel like it's pointless to say anything to people we're related to because they got their own shit they don't want to address.
They all got it.
And I'm just like, okay, where's the honest section?
Yeah, they're big on hiding things.
Like,
and as I got older, like growing up, yeah, I used to keep things in, thinking that's like the way, like, oh, I'll just deal with it on my own. But no. When I realized I was never suicidal,
mm-hmm.
but there was times where I had suicidal thoughts,
mm-hmm.
where my depression got so bad to the point where I felt like I'm just here. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just, I don't even know how to explain
like an object.
It's like you're looking at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're here, but you're not there. Yeah. Like,
and I've got to that point. Yeah, I can honestly say that I've had suicidal thoughts from like.
I had it a couple of times.
Like and teenage years up to like my early 20s.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. I tell people all the time, I said that people that you think are like the happiest or they bring energy, all of this, there's a dark side to that. And people don't understand that, but people have like, they have boundaries and they have like limits. And sometimes people think they can take, or they can throw shit on you, and you are supposed to be able to balance it all. And no, it doesn't work like that. And the one thing that always kept me not crossing all the way is me always thinking about the people I actually care about what would they
My
feel?
kids,
What would they feel if I wasn't here? So,
my kids, they have saved me plenty of times. A matter of fact, all the time, because when I do have those thoughts, then I think about them. I'm like, no,
mm-hmm.
like I already know what I went through as a kid, not having my
Exactly.
parents. I don't want that for them. So it's like I'm a push through whatever the hell's going on with me just for
Mm-hmm.
them. Like I gotta push, I gotta push, I gotta push. And it's hard. It's so hard because you have to put on this face for them. You could be dying inside, but you have to like put on that face for them. Like, you know, you got to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, who take care of us when we're going through that shit? Nobody.
Nobody.
So it's like you have to. I know a lot of people have different beliefs, but for me, I had to put everything in God. I had to just build a relationship with God to get through certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you, if I didn't have that, I would not be here.
And then people don't understand how connected stress is to like illness. Like you could feel
Right.
super lifeless, you could get sicker, you could not know you sick, your blood pressure could be high, you could not feel nothing, worrying a lot, having like thoughts of like old things that's not even going on right now, and keep
Yeah.
repeating that to keep yourself just in that mood. Like I like being sad and depressed is horrible for me because I'm one of those pouring people. So if I feel crappy, I want to listen to music that makes me feel crappier. It's not, let me put on
Yeah.
this. Like I want to be all the way in my mood. Like let me put on this. It's just like, why are you watching this? Shut up, leave
Yeah.
me alone. I'm just like, why are you doing this?
I would have to say no. I don't do that shit
I do it.
because they about to find me in here. Pass the hell out. I put on church music all the way.
Oh no.
And here's the
If I want
thing.
to cry, I'll put on like a certain gospel song that it just sound like it just sound like God is coming like in about 2 seconds. Like it has to sound like that. It can't be no regular
Well, no. I'm not talking about the uplifting, because listen, I can't put on no uplifting stuff. But they have gospel music that really pinpoints what you're going through.
yeah.
So I will play that because it's supposed to basically give you that push, like you're gonna be okay. Like we've been here, everybody been there. You're gonna be okay. So I have to put the gospel music on that inspires me to help me get through that. Depression is horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. It's, oh my God. And when this pandemic started, I feel like that shit, it made it worse.
Because of the don't know aspect.
Not knowing what the hell's gonna happen. The anxiety, I get anxiety a lot. So it's like this, the not knowing. So I literally had to like keep my mind away from social media. For a minute I was like, no, I can't deal with it, because when this shit first started, all you saw on your timeline, pandemic, coronavirus. Oh my God, it's not gonna be done. They're shutting down everything. It was just so crazy. And even
and then
now,
you in Philly, so y'all was like rioting everywhere, madness, police not showing up. Yeah, here it was like I could keep the girls in a bubble for a long time because I don't really watch the news. They don't really hear it, and they weren't going to camp. But then when they started going to camp, they started like having discussions on masks and coronavirus.
Yeah,
And it's just like, I don't have no answers for y'all.
right. Like, like my kids, I'm like, listen, we just not even going to look at social media right now. We're not discussing this right now. Like, I can't even tell you. The president can't even tell us what the hell's going on.
Listen, you better than me. You better than me because I don't even call them that. What are like some of the worst things that people could ask someone or expect from someone that's depressed?
Oh my God. Now you know. I meant to get on that too. I have a family over here that expects Simone to do everything.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh my God, if she say no, it's the end of the freaking world.
Yeah.
And they push and they push and they push. So I felt like the worst thing you can do, and I've told these people, I'm going through this. Stop asking me to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
Stop asking me to do this for you and do that for you. I can't even get out the damn bed.
Oh yeah.
And because I was always a person, we call it a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel bad when I say no.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it bad because I'm going to tell you, yes, I'm going to try to do it, but then the depression won't let me do it. And then I'm stuck, and then I told you I would do it. Now you're calling me, cussing me out because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do when you know a person is going through something is ask them to attend to you, because you can't ask a person that's going through something to attend to you when they need someone to attend to them.
Yeah.
Like, try to help. Don't pile on more things for that person because it's gonna make it worse.
Yeah. Or call someone that you know is depressed and basically bully them into going somewhere because you feel like that's going to fix it. Or bully them into doing something that peps you up because you feel like that's going to fix it. Some people just want to be by themselves. Or if you want to be like a good person, come over my house and bring me snacks. Bring me snacks and don't say nothing. Just sit there.
Right. Just sit there. Just be there. You don't got to say, oh my God, I'm sorry. No, just sit there. Yeah. Me and my friend Sasha, when I say we have gone through so much depression together, it's not even funny because we'll know. I can say that I know Sasha's breaking points. Sasha knows my breaking points. Mm-hmm. So if I call and say, Sasha, and I just start busting out crying, she's like, where you at? I'm coming. Like, and we have a spot that we go to, and we'll just sit there for hours and we'll talk. Mm-hmm. And that's what you need. You need somebody like that when you're going through something, they won't question you. They be like, oh, nothing. They'll just say, where you at? I'm coming. I'm gonna sit there. We could talk. We don't have to talk. We could just sit there. Mm-hmm. And you need that person. Everybody needs someone with them when they're going through depression. I'm telling you, people cannot go through depression by themselves.
Right. Even people who are like super resistant. Okay, they say no, this is not happening, and you see verbatim and it's happening. Just make yourself available. Sometimes you gotta make yourself available.
And everybody handles depression differently. Mm-hmm. Like my sister, for instance, when I know that she's going through, so I can tell. Mm-hmm. I will call and say, what's going on, or I'll just tell her we'll go out to eat, and then she'll have a breakdown or whatever. But she doesn't actually say, I'm going through something.
Boy, I hate asking Phil, what's wrong? Nothing.
Right. She was like, nothing. Like, nothing. I'm alright. I'm fine. Nothing. Like, her biggest thing is I'm irritated. I see that you're irritated. I just want to know what's going on. Are you okay? You need me what's up? But it's just, some people just put up a wall. Like, but I know for me, I've dealt with a lot of depression by myself in my home, alone, and that wasn't good. That wasn't good. And it's like, I can't even. I've tried to talk to my grandma about it. I've tried to talk to my mother about it. Nope. That stuff don't work.
You can't talk to people that don't want to correct their stuff. And it's
right. So it's like,
that's why I went to a therapist, because I was like, I need somebody that don't know me, don't know these people, that will listen to the situation and give me a sane step of what I need to do to come out of this. And that's why I went, because before I used to think therapists are for people who ain't got friends. But sometimes your friends, because they know the people you're around, they form opinions because, well, I met your mother and she's kind of nice. I don't think she would do that. And I met your cousin and they did. So I know they didn't mean it in that way. You don't know who I'm talking about.
Right.
It's hard.
And you know what I hate? What people say all the time. Oh, you strong. You be all right.
I don't want to be strong to be all right. Like, I know how much weight I could carry, but you don't know how many miles repeatedly I had to carry this. And I remember being in college and purposely pushing myself because I thought, quote unquote, it'll make me a better person. I would push myself to the point where I was working a full-time job. I had a full-time internship, and
I remember that.
I went to school full-time, and sometimes I would do overnights. And sometimes after those overnights at 6 a.m. in the morning, I would walk down the street and go to class, and that class was 3 hours. Then I would go home to go take a shower, all to get ready to go to the airport, to sleep at the airport, so I could wake up and catch the 5 a.m. train to be at work to get those hours. And everybody assumed, oh, she just go to school and go to work. No, y'all don't know that sometimes when I get off after my internship, I have to take the bus and in Georgia in pitch black darkness, get dropped off at the closest bus stop, which is 2 miles away from where I live, and walk by myself. And didn't get home till like 2 a.m. And I felt like, don't worry about it, Chantal, it's gonna make you a better person. But that didn't do nothing but make me super resistant to people helping me, because I felt like, remember what you used to do? You could do it yourself, when I really don't have to.
Not to mention at graduation, you had a big ass sty on your eye. Bitch, you was tired.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy.
You tired.
It was crazy.
Like, that was a push. You get them things when you overstressed and tired. You know that. Girl. But I'm not carrying that I'm strong. I'm gonna get through this by myself stuff no more. Everybody needs somebody. We'll go crazy.
Everybody needs somebody.
Yes. Yeah, it's something. And another thing too, depression stems from so many places. And sometimes people who you think that, oh my God, I have to have this person in my life, you know, mother, father, sister, brother, sometimes those people trigger your depression.
Come on, anchors. Where's your anchors?
So it's like, you really have, when you're going through depression, you have to really break it down and look into yourself and look at your surroundings and look who's around you and say, okay, what's making my situation worse, or who's helping my situation? Sometimes you just gotta drop some people.
Yeah. That
And it's
common
hard.
denominator.
I know it's hard because you're like, damn, I can't do this. That's my family. Like, I can't do this, or that's my best friend. They've been there for me since
Listen,
whatever.
family is how people act towards you and how they, carry themselves. Relatives be like, oh, so my uncle screwed this lady and now this is your cousin. Or
Right.
my mom had, all these boys before she had me, so I guess these are my brothers. It's not like, I don't look at family and relatives as the same thing, as completely separate. And your actions have to be family like. Like, I have to be able to fully trust you if I fainted and my kids were around, and I don't have to second guess like where my kids are. And people don't understand that, and a lot of people hang on to people that don't want to see them do better. A lot of people hang on to people that don't want to see you leave, because that means I'm gonna have to stand up and I'm gonna have to do for myself. And
I have done that for
this,
years. I have like kind of put other people ahead of me to say, okay, if I do this or if I step out of this situation, dang, what's gonna happen to this person?
yeah,
I never put myself first, and I regret that. And that's the worst thing you could do, is regret it, because then you start resenting that person as well. Like, why the hell did I do this? I should have left. Like, like
yeah.
like,
And then with kids, you kind of see it helps things get clearer for you, and you start to see like, now you're not just pushing you back, you're pushing their life back. You're
right.
pushing their chance to actually enjoy their childhood the way they should enjoy their childhood. Like, I don't want my kids to ever worry about being around quote unquote family and them treating them a certain way, or talking to them a certain way, or them making them feel like some type of outsider, or well, you're not going to talk about you now, but when you go upstairs, we're going to have some conversations. Like, I don't want them to feel like that. So I don't introduce them to a lot of people. I don't take them to go see a lot of people. And it's just like, I value my peace and my quietness over a lot of people and things.
So just going back, like a little rewind, and another part of my life where I was a teenager and experienced depression. Just to show you how family are.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna name no names, but I don't really want to put them out there like that. But when my mother when she got locked up, I was 15, and she got locked up, and pretty much she did 5 years before they deported her. I think I got super depressed. And I'm already a teenager, so you must know how, when you're a teenager, you go through so many emotions.
Oh yeah.
So that really kind of put me at my lowest point. Like, I was really depressed. I was crying a lot, and I was just going through so much. And I went to visit a cousin in Maryland, and I had my other cousins came too. One from New York, one from Philly, just to say. But they were there as well. And I was crying. Like, I was so depressed. I was crying. I missed my mom. And I just started writing down, just writing. You know how you just writing, like you're writing in your journal or your diary or whatever. So I just, I was going through it. So I started writing, and just like basically writing a letter to my mom. Now let me show you how fucked up family is. Okay? We went to the movie theater, came back. I don't know why we didn't see the movie. Something happened. So we came back. Now, in that little space of time, somebody found my letter. because of course I left it on the desk. I wasn't done. We had stepped out to go out.
Yeah.
Read the letter.
Mm-hmm.
In the letter, I had stated that I felt like I was in a box. I felt like I was suffocating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm crying all the time. You know, just I remember writing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if your younger cousin writes something down like that, you read it. Wouldn't you think, okay, that's a cry for help. She going through something.
Yeah.
As an older cousin, you will come to her and say, you know what? I'm going to sit her down, talk to her, you know, make sure she all right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Not in our family, girl. So they took that letter, read it, and had a whole conversation about the letter. And it's crazy because I was upstairs and heard them talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear them discussing me.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of them picking their ratchet asses up, walking up to the desk and say, hey, cuz, let me talk to you.
Pick up the phone. Your mic is not clear.
All grown ass women to me.
I can't hear you. Pick up your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, you guys are grown ass women. Okay?
But that's the thing. They take other people's feelings and thoughts as if it's being directed to them, like you're doing. No, I'm talking about my experience. This is what I am feeling right now. And on top of that, this was not addressed to you.
Exactly. So now that cousin, which I was like in shock as to why she would do that, said, well, I agreed to take her because her mom said, you know, can you take Simone and can she live with you and she won't get her out of Philly, whatever. Her remarks after reading my letter was, I agreed to take her, but now that I read that, I don't want to have to deal with that situation.
Listen.
So I'm not going to take her.
That's wild.
That's what you do to your younger cousin who look up to you. That's what you say. So it's like, fuck her and her issues. Yeah. I'm going to let her be where she at. I'm not even going to pull her to the side and talk to her. We're just going to sit here and have a whole gossip conversation, just gossiping about this letter that...
As if you're not a person with ears in the same place.
Like, none of them pulled me aside and spoke to me about it. That's to this day, like...
But you know what's so crazy? Well, to this day, and I don't care about no names, till this day, Stacey Henry or Stacey Carr, Van, whatever she is, has not apologized for her quote unquote favorite aunt having her second stroke in Maryland during the summer and living 4 minutes away from the hospital where she was with us, and having social workers pick us up and put me and my youngest brother in foster home.
In foster home. Yeah.
Then I apologize for it. And then for me, what pissed me off is I grew up. And I grew up to a point where I was in my 20s and I decided to visit my mom while my mom agreed to come stay with you for the first year of you having your child to help you take care of your child in your house. And I looked at her daughter day in and day out, day in and day out. And I said, even me now in my 20s and not having kids, if you fell down in here and it was just me and you, and you had a stroke, and I knew you were at the hospital with your baby, I would never allow a social worker, a complete stranger, to come pick your child up and put your child into foster care during the summer when there's other relatives you can call.
Thank you. And that was that. That's all you had to do.
I was like, oh no, she's not meeting my children, not me.
It's like,
it's crazy.
It's like, it's, and the shit goes even deeper, but, and I'm not gonna, it's just that I can't even go
behavior. And when I look at other people's families who have their mom and dad there, who have their brothers, who have their aunts and their cousins, and they act family-like, and they are family-like, I be looking at them like they're complete aliens because I don't know what that is.
Right. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Like, dang, y'all wealthy as I don't know what. They be like, well, we ain't got no money. I said, but y'all got actual people that actually treat y'all in a family way and not as like brush off, you know, they don't do nothing for me. They can't give me nothing. So I don't see them. They don't see me. Like, no.
And we were raised by these people. Right. But we are not those people.
Right.
Like, it's like, I don't know, like, where your heart at? But just going through situations like that, they funny.
Girl, remember when I was in New York and I was staying at Keisha's, and this girl listen, there is this trauma, this unnecessary drama when it comes to relatives who are born and raised outside of the United States, who come to the United States grown up, and they feel like they have this chip on their shoulder where they always have to prove they're worthy of, or not that they're better than, but they can share a room with you. And she had like this chip on her shoulder where she was upset that I didn't want to hang out with y'all, you and your friends and your husband. I don't want to go to your parties. I don't want to sit in the living room and gossip about people y'all gossiping about. I just want to work and I want to go to sleep. And so me and you were talking on Facebook, and she was basically mad because I want to add her on Facebook. I'm just like, girl, I live with you. Like, what am I adding you on Facebook for? So she felt like what I was talking about between me and you was about her. I'm just like,
right. And it's sad that they feel that way.
I can't do this. Like, I don't have time to talk about you. Talk about you for what?
But when I was saying that the mental health issues that run in our family, that's what I meant. They have some mental issues because you're not a normal person. In no shape or form are you normal.
She verbatimly said, you must think you better than me because you come in here and you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that and you just feel like you too good. Listen, I'm not too good for anything, okay?
It's crazy. And it's like, I see my kids and I'm like, the shit that I went through as a kid, I'm so glad that I'm here. I thank God that I'm here to protect them from that.
Yeah.
Because it's not every child can handle some of the shit that we went through as kids. A lot of kids couldn't handle that.
Right. Especially these new
kids. Yeah, they can't. It's just too much.
These new kids fall apart when somebody tells them they don't like something. It's like, girl.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. But I look at them and they really keep me at a level and they keep me happy because I'm like, okay, I did this, I did that. Those are my kids. I'm raising them the way that I wanted to be raised.
Mm-hmm.
And without the sadness and without the depression. Yeah, they're going to go through stuff, but at least I'm there to like be that person that, okay, I'm your mom, you can come to me, you can talk to me. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
Your
And
mom
no
never
shade.
your mom never had a chill. And even as a kid, I knew your mom didn't have a chill. Your mom was
Yeah.
either on the go, needing to go, or I need to
And she,
clean. I need to
yeah,
clean.
and at
And
one
when she
point,
cleaned, shit would be spotless because her mind was never rested. And when your mom would
no,
be in the room, it's kind of like you better not sit down because she gonna make you feel bad for sitting still.
I know.
Like your mom, you come in the room, it's like, oh my God, can I help you with something? Like you doing
no,
something?
get out my way. So
Listen,
it's just like, and we had a discussion before about that, and she was just apologizing for not being there, not knowing. And I understand she went through hell. She went through a lot of stuff too, growing up, and that's the problem. The depression carries on from generation to generation because we had depression raising us.
and nobody in that generation wanted to be honest about what they went through.
No, they didn't. They hid it.
Listen,
They
I ain't
hid
got
it.
nothing to
So,
hide.
and then tried to raise kids. What the fuck?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Like now you're teaching us to do the same thing you're doing. You're fucking us up for the rest of our life. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So it's like I have to sometimes have to take myself out of that. And I tell my kids all the time, no, whatever you're going through, you need to talk about it. Do not ever hide anything. You need to talk about it.
But don't you find it wild how your mom interacts with your kids and my mom, how she interacts with all of her grandkids? I like watch her and I listen to her. I'm just like, well, I knew my mom loved me, but I never remember my mom telling me like how she tell my kid. I knew my mom.
Oh my God, yes, because yes, my mom is. I love you all the way 24/7. I think about 10 times a day. She'll go crazy. She'll go crazy if she doesn't get a call from the kids.
I'm just like, who is this?
You do know they're my kids, right?
Listen, I remember living with you, and your mom would call at 5:30 a.m. while you trying to get multiple kids ready in a house. I'm just like, but does she have to call right now?
I know, like
it's crazy. It's a crazy dynamic.
It's like it's so different now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you
jealous. Now, like
it makes you jealous of your kids because you wanted the relationship that they're now giving to your children. But you have to understand when your parents don't do their work for themselves, they have like a whole lifetime to mess up or trip up with you. And then grandchildren are like they
fix it with the grandkids.
They start over with your.
My father is a perfect example. My father's. I could not get that man in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But now he calls all the time for the grandkids. It's like, what are you doing, sir?
It's a do-over.
So, and I'm glad I'm not the type of person that would like basically shut him out or resent him for what he did for not being there. I said, I told him, I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dad. Like, I don't think, but you can try.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I basically told him, like, your chances with having a father-daughter relationship with me is kind of gone.
Mm-hmm.
So you can try with your grandkids.
Yeah.
And he's been there. I mean, he's been there for them.
So how is your anxiety now, or what helps your anxiety now?
I think my anxiety is not as bad as it was before, but a lot of the times what helps my anxiety is basically shutting everything out, like just having a peaceful time to myself. Like I used to, I always sit in the car When I get home, I will sit in the car for hours.
Therapy. That's always been your thing.
Driving is something that helps my anxiety. Like, if I'm going through something, I would like, okay, let me just take a little drive. You know, I'll just take a little drive and I go to the park and just sit there and just stay in the peace, stay in the quiet for a long time and just think. And then I'll just start again, you know? And music, oh my gosh. Music is like a big help for me.
Yeah. People say exercise, eating healthy, remembering funny things. We know. Identifying what isn't.
Yeah, girl.
Music, like you said, being around people who make you happy.
Right.
Obviously going to therapy, painting something, or just being in a new environment.
Yes.
That can help. Even if
yes,
it's like
your environment, and I know we went off subject for a minute, but the environment thing, that's a major thing. Like, if you really going through something and you're in an environment like what I'm in, Philadelphia.
Listen, being in Philly in the dead of winter is depressing, okay? Don't do it. It is not Colorado.
Just looking at my city and everything that's going on right now is very depressing. Looking at people that, you know, they're just wasting their life.
Yeah.
Just driving around looking at my city and seeing everybody just hanging out in the streets, the crackheads, this, that. The gun violence is heavy over here right now. Yeah. And it's just sad. It's like they're not waking up. You would think after the pandemic that a lot of people would have like woke up to certain shit, and they're just not. It got worse. Like, now you guys are robbing everybody. Like, you guys robbing each other. You're killing each other. We just had all of these riots. We had the Black Lives Matter movement going on, and you guys are still freaking killing each other. Right. Black on black crime. Like, this is stupid. Now children are dying.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now y'all just shooting and you're killing kids. Like, we had 3 kids killed in 1 week. Babies, 6-year-old, 5-year-old. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's almost turning like Chicago.
Yeah,
the number's not as high as Chicago on a weekend, but it's like. Right.
And it's like, I've had a million times I've had to get out of Philly, and I haven't. And this shit right here, with the pandemic going on, and I told my kids, I said, I can't allow you guys to be raised here. I can't do that. I would be a terrible parent to do that. And it's sad. Your environment will mess you up as well. You know, if you guys are out there and you're having issues with depression, if you can get out of the environment that you're in, get out of the environment that you're in. Thank you. You're very cute.
Listen, focus.
Girl. He's cute. Oh my God. Okay, so sorry guys. But yes, anything you want to ask?
What is some advice for people who are going through depression today? Because depression today is very different from when we grew up, because we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have Facebook,
right.
We didn't have Twitter. So, like, what is your advice?
Okay.
Because one thing I do hate, let me say this.
Social media.
Listen, I hate those crying videos. I hate them crying videos. I hate posts with the hospital bracelet and no caption. Like, am I supposed to beg you to tell me what's wrong?
Wait. Yes, I hate that. But one thing I'm gonna tell you too, because a lot of people do that. People, I gotta tell you this. You going through depression and you going down, you scrolling down your timeline. I'm gonna tell you this. Stay off of social media because they are lying. These people are lying. You might be sliding down your friend's timeline and you're like, shit, I'm going through so much. I'm depressed. Everybody's so happy. Don't believe the hype. Mm-hmm. People are posting shit just to post shit for likes. Yeah. You not for a second don't think that this person is doing way better than you and y'all went to school together and look how happy they look. Why my life gotta be like this? That shit will put you down even more. Yeah. If you're that type of person, stay the fuck off of social media when you depressed. Do not go on there.
One thing about people who are in this quarantine right now, they making this quarantine look like you hit a lick because the money is happening right now. But after this quarantine, they're going to be hurting because they're going to see how they can maintain the things that they purchased or the lifestyle. You might see a few new Facebook pages and IGs.
Oh my gosh.
Because the pictures they're not matching. They're not consistent. 2 weeks ago, you was in Miami, you was in LA, you was eating at this restaurant, that restaurant, and then now we back to the apartment with the box spring on the floor.
I'm trying to tell you, don't believe the hype, guys. Like, you're going through your stuff, you just take it one day at a time. Do not go on social media. Social media is the worst. It'll make shit worse. Okay? Yeah. Watch. Another thing that helps with my depression too is I like to go back into the past as far as like TV shows. I love my old TV shows. Mm-hmm. And I will watch that. I will watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watch Living Single, Girlfriends. I love that. That kind of takes me out of it, That takes me back to the regular teenage days. I could just sit there and watch Moesha and all that stuff. Yeah. So, like, just, watch a couple movies. I don't know, whatever your thing is. Read the book. Listen to music.
Don't forget your vitamins. Like,
yes, because
natural antidepressants. Don't let these doctors put you on real hardcore drugs. Take your vitamin C. Take your omega-3s, all of that. Do it yourself first.
Because the medications aren't built to help us. It's supposed to take care of a situation. Now, they had put me on medication and I tried it once and I was like, oh, hell no. So I already told you I can't get out the bed. Now you just want me to sleep for the rest of the fucking day. Like, I was stuck, okay? I could not sleep. When I say it was like I took the medicine and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this, see if it helped me. Girl, I was stuck on stupid. I think I was sitting down staring at the wall for like hours. Like, yeah. I remember my son was like, Mom, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, just sitting there, like, it's like I had no feel. Now, I'm going to tell you that. It takes away your feeling, yes, but you're a zombie. I said, I can't do nothing. I can't cook. I can't clean. I can't even smile. Like, this shit, I'm just sitting here, like, yo. I told the doctor, they was like, oh, you're supposed to take this medication with this medication. So you just want me all fucked up. I said, listen, I can't take this. I said, I'm going to have, y'all got to figure out something else. I said, I can't do the antidepressants. I can't do this pill. I can't do it. Yeah. I'm just stuck. Said, oh, why don't we just try another? You want us to just take the dosage down? We could try another. I said, no, I don't want anything. Listen, I said, I'll figure this shit out myself.
Western medicine is all about let's not do it the natural way. So if you can have plants in your house, get plants in your house. If you can have some more sunlight come in your house, get sunlight in your house. If you can eat,
Right. We need
more
sunlight.
greens, cucumbers, grapefruits, kiwis. If you could take B12, I can't take it because I get allergic reaction. That's supposed to help with depression, but a lot of people
Yeah,
really
and
want a
it
quick
helps with your
fix.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they want a quick fix, but you didn't get this depression with the quickness.
Right.
So not everything's a quick fix, but you got to switch stuff up. You can't keep doing the same things and expecting, this depression you've been dealing with all your life to just poof and go away. It's not going to work. But
it's steps. It's a lot of steps to it. It takes time. It's not going to happen in one day.
yeah.
It's not going to happen over a week. This is years of work
Yeah.
that you got to put in, and you got to love yourself enough to want to do it.
Yeah.
So trust me, it's a lot. I'm not there yet. I am not even close.
And also
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, going back to the pregnancy part of it, a lot of my my postpartum issue was people not making me feel like I was human or I was this person before I got pregnant. So a lot of people, after you have a baby, they're like, "Oh my God, let me go see the baby. Let me get the baby." And just like, hello, I am here. And it's kind of like you don't feel seen. Every day is the same thing. You're on 2 months maternity leave. All this baby do is cry, sleep, eat, poop, cry, eat,
so
poop. I'm just like,
I will have to say my first pregnancy, I was pretty happy. I don't know if it was because of my age. Probably was, because I was a teenager.
I remember that prom picture.
I think I breezed through that like real fast and easy. It was my second pregnancy where I was depressed for the whole 9 months. And when I say I couldn't get out the bed, I didn't want to see nobody. I was in a cave, and the cause of that was my husband.
Oh yes, he was not the business.
He was horrible to me. I didn't think a person can treat another human being as bad as he treated me. I felt like total shit.
Girl, what was that movie? What was that movie where the girl was like, "Lord, Forrest Gump," when Jenny was in the field, she was like, "Lord, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away." Girl, when I tell you I was in your apartment, I was like, "Lord, do whatever you do to take this man, because I cannot. I don't know if I'm gonna stomp his neck out tonight. It might be Friday, but there's just something about him where it was not clicking. Like, sir, she has reached her limit. Let this be the last thing," and it was not clicking.
Yeah, it wasn't. And okay, my daughter cried constantly. Now, another very, very important thing I have to tell you guys is that when you're pregnant, whatever we go through, whatever stress, whatever depression, it affects the child, and it will affect that child until they become an adult.
Oh yes, Ari was very miserable.
Yes, it affects the child. So everything that I went through during my pregnancy with my daughter, it affected her. She cried 24/7. I cried.
I remember my wrist.
She cried with me. She used to have night terrors. I mean, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And they say that, like, I've read up on it, that everything that you go through when you're pregnant, the baby can go through that trauma as well. And it affects them in their lifetime. So I'm telling you, if it's somebody stressing you out, don't even do it.
Yeah.
Let that person go. Let them go. Let them go. It's not worth it because you got to protect yourself and your baby. So
Most
yeah,
they didn't ask to be here, so do what you need to do.
Right.
And if you want to be a good friend to a new mom, go over there and just be there with that baby so they can go outside and have the illusion
and breathe.
Yeah, so they have the illusion that, oh, that baby's not mine. That day in and day out is hard, honey. It's hard.
It is. Especially when you're a single parent, it's the worst. And no, I can't even say that because there's some parents out there that just have the father is he's just an ancient father. He'll be there, but
they have a husband that they live with, but because of how often they had those kids, they become the single parent in the marriage. Because that father is always gone working. I'm not saying that he's not doing what he needs to do, but there's no real balance.
Yeah. So it's like just go over there. Know the signs. Mm-hmm. We get withdrawn. You don't hear from them for a long time,
Yeah.
Just there's signs out there where you can tell that somebody's going through something. Always.
Yeah. And it's not that like your friends have kids and then they change and you don't see them. It's because they're struggling with balancing it all and not feeling guilty because they want to be a whole human being. So if you can incorporate yourself into your friend's life, do that. I think right now with the quarantine it's kind of hard to do because my friend just had a baby and I haven't physically gone to see her baby because I don't want to pass nothing to him. But I tried to like call her and check up on her and then check up on the baby and then not be, I'm calling to see the baby because, people want to feel human and it's such a transition to have a whole human being and try to figure out who you are now with this human being. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot, but just know the signs, and if you're going through it, go get help. Don't just brush it off. It's you can't brush it off. It's not gonna go nowhere.
Yeah, and they have virtual therapists now that you can have on your phone on apps. So don't ever feel like you stuck and you can't have nobody because them therapists is booked up, honey.
Yep.
Right now they book.
And especially with what's going on now. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, there's people that really can't deal with this pandemic. They can't deal with being shut down or closed in. It's like driving them crazy. So there's people out there that's really having a hard time right now and don't have anybody.
Yeah.
So just try to be there and be a good friend. Don't go over there talking about something, oh, you strong, get up.
Listen.
You could go somewhere, you be fine. Don't be that person. Because it does not.
Listen, I don't want to be strong. Like, I don't want to be poor right now. Like, where is my trust fund? Where's my Barbara Walters grandmother at? Because I'm tired.
I'm tired too. I just need some money.
This don't make sense.
Like just drop a couple thousands. What's going on?
Like, imagine, like I already don't like people. So if you give me money now, I promise you I'm not going to be sad. I don't want to be around nobody to begin with.
I can't. Oh my God, just give me the money.
Don't like parties. I'm not going to do it all in liquor. Now that I will say, I'm glad we're not related to anyone that suffers from alcoholism or...
I am. On my mother's side.
Oh, or like
hard. I'm not an alky though. I'm not a...
Well, you don't have like an addictive personality.
I actually... See, now wait, I do.
About About what?
It might not be the drugs, but
Ginger ale,
yes.
Pepsi.
So soda was always an addiction for me, and I had an addiction to cornstarch.
Oh God! Oh yes, she's a
It
baby
happened
powder
when
queen.
it happened when I was pregnant, but then it's like it never left me. But then I read up on it that also, listen, that also ties to depression too. It's so many things. There's so many things. You guys have to do your research.
Yeah.
You see some behaviors that you know darn well shouldn't be happening. If you just up in one day just decided, hey, let me just eat this baby powder.
Listen.
No.
And
Something's wrong,
for the record,
go get some help.
Can you please tell us your children's ages?
Oh, well, my son, he just turned 16. It's my oldest. My daughter is 11.
Boom.
And my youngest is 6.
Boom. And she suffers from fibroid.
Yes.
So don't pause. Don't quit and don't give up thinking.
Yes, I had fibroids, but I'm gonna go off the record. Well, I'm just gonna let y'all know.
Yeah.
So after nobody knew about this, this was my secret. I was gonna take it to the grave.
Ooh.
After my last child, I got pregnant again. My son was 6. My son is 6. I would have, yes, I got pregnant again. I'm not even gonna go there. I did not carry on with that pregnancy. I let that one go. However, I had a fibroid the size of an orange while I was pregnant. The doctor could not believe that I was pregnant with a fibroid the size of an orange, which was nowhere near. It was sort of like behind the baby in a bit. It was close, but not too close. So yes, you can get pregnant. You can get pregnant. Don't be listening to these doctors. And my fibroid started to shrink. It got smaller the last time I went to the doctor. Because of my cousin, Chantal, telling me about the black seed oil, which I started taking around that time. Black seed oil, y'all, is nasty as fuck, but it works. That shit is fucking nasty.
It's nasty.
But when I tell you I was taking it, I was just taking it. Like every day I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just down this. I haven't taken it in a while, but I started downing it, and I think it shrunk the fibroid. It's weird because when I went back, they said, you know, it's they still see it, but it's not the size it was before. So
that's good.
Just don't give up hope with that. Don't do no surgeries. Let me tell you, I got my gallbladder removed, and I wish I didn't, because I found out later that I could have went the natural way and took some stuff to basically get rid of the stones, and I didn't know that. So yeah, so now I had a gallbladder issue. They removed it, and my stomach is so jacked up, I can't eat certain shit. I get really sick sometimes, and it's because I don't got my gallbladder no more. So y'all definitely need to look into stuff before you jump into stuff.
Yes. And also, speaking of fibroids, stress can grow your fibroids. And I feel like because you didn't have a lot of people around you, you weren't that stressed to have that fibroid be so big. And people don't understand.
True.
Because it could be emotional why that's growing. So.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you got, listen, like, I'm telling you, I know it's so hard to be stress-free, but just try, because stress damages your body. Depression damages your body.
Yeah.
It's a silent killer. It definitely is. certain stuff that will happen to me. I'm like, well, damn, why is this happening? Stress.
Yeah.
Stress. The other day I thought I had coronavirus. I swear I said, Lord, now why move? I was at work and all of a sudden, fever. I just out of nowhere. I was hot. I was weak. My whole body was aching. I said, shit. Corona got me. I was calling my cousin. I said, it got me. Shit, I think it got me. And she's like, what? Laughing at me. I'm like, coronavirus. Oh my God, y'all. When I was in a bed, I was like, oh my God, I really think I got it.
Listen.
I sent my kids to my grandma. I was like in that bed, scared as shit, because I really thought I had it. And I already know that I got anemia. I'm anemic, so I'm like, shit, I'm probably not gonna make it. Like, I'm just thinking all
This is the time to be taking your black seed oil, your zinc, your probiotic, eating your vegetables, washing them twice. Any fruits you get from the grocery store, soaking them and washing them, because you just don't know what's clean. You don't know what's dirty. You don't know who's touching what. It's crazy.
Let me tell y'all, I was down for 2 days. Okay? I was in the bed for 2 days straight. I came from work. My mom was like, you have to go take a shower. I'm like, I can't even lift my foot. I can't do nothing. I was stuck for 2 days straight in the bed. I left work, came here. I swear to God I had it. And guess what? Took the test and I ain't had shit. So I have only one conclusion. My ass was stressed out. I was stressed out. Stress brings on everything. I didn't have a cold. I wasn't coughing or nothing. It was just a fever. And my body felt like I was coming down like I was getting the flu. So I'm telling you, stress will do a number on your body.
Yeah.
So please, everyone, please take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You come first. So you get that paycheck, you get that unemployment check, you get that welfare check. Go out there, get you some vitamins, take care of yourself. Get you some
what's so
oil.
Crazy? Whenever anyone gives me money, that's when I want to do right by myself. But let me work and get the money. I want all the stuff I'm not supposed to eat. I want all the delicious stuff. But it just feels better when it's somebody else's money.
And that's why you need a husband. That's another subject.
Oh no, we're not talking about that.
We're not even gonna go there. That's why you need to go get you a little husband. So that's another topic for later on.
But yeah.
But what I'm saying right now is, guys, take care of yourself. Know your sign. Know the signs.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you can't talk to nobody in your family, you can't talk to your friends, definitely go to a therapist. Don't be afraid of the therapist, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
I like my therapist because she reminds me of an old auntie. And it wasn't like somebody's telling you what to do with your life. It's more so somebody's listening and then being like, okay, so since you did all of that and that didn't work and this worked, maybe you should try this. And then it was like somebody giving you steps to get yourself out of what you were in. It wasn't somebody giving you a cure for your life. It wasn't that. So once she knew that I did the steps I needed to do, it wasn't like I was cured, but it was like I can balance it all now because I did the work. And so I started like going to her less. And then sometimes now I'll like text her and just check in. And but I haven't seen her in, I want to say like at least 2 years. But yeah.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah.
I didn't like mine. I dropped her after 2 weeks.
Oh wow. Yeah, you can always change. You can always change your therapist too.
Yes, change your therapist if you don't feel comfortable. You don't have to stay at the first one that you get, because she seemed a little bit too pushy. I was like, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
like you can't just push me.
And a
Like,
lot of
give me
people,
some time.
think that they have to come out of pocket with their therapist. If you work a job, corporate, or you full time, they have I think it's called like an EOC or something like that, where they'll pay for a certain amount of hours for you to go to therapy without paying, and then after those first 6 times you go, then your insurance will go ahead and kick it and pay for it. But a lot of people
Yeah.
don't utilize it.
And also, a lot of people will have Medicaid. Definitely, it's for free.
Mm-hmm.
Just call the back of just look at the back of your card and call that number. They'll definitely guide you and tell you where you need to go. Give you a list of people that you need to see. That should be any insurance. Like, you look on the back of your card, you can call them. They'll give you a list of places that you can go to. So just take care of yourself, guys.
Don't be walking around here feeling like poo.